Now, South Africa's main bourse, the JSE, will be investigating an increase in the trading of certain securities in the hours before the former Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan was recalled to the country. The JSE will reportedly be looking to identify activity that could warrant further investigation by the Financial Services Board's Market Abuse Department. Now, speculation on large bets on currency futures at around the same time also did surface, and that in turn caused market watchers to speculate that the currency was perhaps being shorted. Short selling, of course, refers to the selling of instruments that have been borrowed in anticipation of a decline in prices. Right then, so let's get the latest details on what's going on in Johannesburg. Angelo Coppola joins me now live from that city. Angelo, is this sort of thing normal? I mean, in 2015 we had the then Finance Minister, Mr. Nene, fired, then replaced by a legislator that no one had completely heard of. Was there an investigation then?
Well, there were huge moves in the currency at that stage on the JSE. The banking stocks had lost some 18% of their market cap at one stage, and the currency had tanked to the worst levels than we are seeing during this current crisis we're having. And this triggered an automatic review by the JSE, who were looking for anomalies. At the time, there was no speculation that any company had benefited. It was only in October last year that we heard of a Gupta-linked company that may have been privy to that information months before it actually occurred. But in the meantime, the JSE has recovered. The currency also began a fight back and became the best performing international currency last year. Of course, that all changed last week, and it continues today. The currency, in fact, gave back all of its gains in the space of just 1 week. So 2015 has come and gone. There's a private investigation happening around one particular company, but that's all that happened then, Raman.
Indeed. The Reuters data and Bloomberg data also showing the rand weakening literally in a matter of hours before the recall announcement came through. Is this one of the things that triggered this investigation?
Well, I spoke to Sean Davis, who's the head of market regulation at the JSE earlier, and he tells me that their review of trades on that Monday was triggered by material moves in the banking, resources, bonds and currency futures instruments on the JSE. One analyst suggests that at least one currency trade alone made someone a cool $5 million profit over a kind of 4-day period. But it is a complex review, I'm told, because it's so wide-ranging. The JSE are hoping to be done with the investigation or their review in the next couple of days, and then they'll hand over their findings to the Financial Services Board, the FSB. I'm told the FSB and the JSE are going to be meeting tomorrow for an update. They'll conduct, of course, a formal investigation and look to see if they can identify any kind of criminality that may have taken place. The FSB has told me, though, that the currency investigation would be a price manipulation case. Just for interest, the highest fine ever imposed for such a case was only around $750,000. Raman?
Right, which in the context of the sort of trades that happen at the JSE is a bit small. But let's step back a bit here, because this does sound at face value, from a very uninformed position, like a case of either front-running or insider trading. What's a track record of South African prosecutors in dealing with those sort of crimes?
Well, it's one of the curiosities of South Africa's white-collar criminal activities, especially when it comes to the JSE. Front-running, or what Davis in this case calls insider trading in terms of the currency, the FSB have enforcement powers and they can find criminals guilty. They can be sent to jail, but that hasn't happened yet. What generally happens is that the FSB and the guilty party reach a rather strange agreement. The guilty party agrees to pay a fine, but doesn't admit guilt. The sanction is almost a slap on the wrist, and it's almost as if it's back to business as usual. In terms of what happened last week, Davis confirmed that they can see who was trading on those two currency future contracts, and they can see who the traders are and who the brokers are. So we're going to see more information be divulged in the space of time, Rama.
Indeed, we'll leave it there for the time being. Should be an interesting story to follow up on. Thank you for that. That's Angelo Coppola, of course, live in Johannesburg, South Africa. He will be keeping tabs on that particular story.